Hello there, people of the internet. I've been playing around with cast bullets, and this is a video of me taking some cast bullets out to a range for test firing. I am trying to make the absolute best possible cast bullet ammunition that I can, and that means getting the maximum amount of weight with your cast bullets moving as fast as possible. Unfortunately, a proper lubed, proper sized gas check hard cast gas or a hard cast cast bullet. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Gas check, proper lube, hard cast bullet. Like maximum velocity for those is probably about 2,200 feet per second, approximately, give or take. If you use like a really hard cast lead, you might be able to go a little faster than that, but 2,200 feet per second is about the max. But with cast bullets, the faster you send them, the less accurate they are, and they're just not really set up. Like they're just not really set up for really fast velocities. So I try to keep mine around 2,000 feet per second. That seems to be the Goldilocks area where I get a decent velocity and I also get fairly decent accuracy as well. Now, all of that being said, I have been working on a universal load, and it's a 170 cast bullet with, you know, X amount of powder behind it, and that's for a separate video. But I am also working on trying to make the best possible cast bullet 308 that I can in the best possible platform that I can run it. So in this particular video, I go out and I test some 200 grain cast bullet 308 rounds in my Ishapore 2A1. Now this rifle has a 1 in 12 twist inside of it, and it should be able to stabilize those 200 grain projectiles. Cast lead rounds are actually slightly shorter than your jacketed rounds, just because of the density of lead. And so because that bullet is actually slightly shorter, like the 1 in 12 twist would normally not have problems with a 200 grain bullet if it was just a standard jacketed round. But it should really not have problems stabilizing that 200 grain cast lead round with this particular rifle. So I loaded these up to move about 2,000 approximately feet per second. This way I maintain the best possible accuracy, I get the best possible results. In a rifle like this, we got 10 rounds, external magazine, relatively fast firing. I think that this is the best possible rifle with the best possible 308 cast bullet loadings that I could have made. So I tipped these out to the range, and this is the results.
All right, ammunition testing. Now we are testing 308. This right here is 200 grain cast rounds. They've been gas checked, and I'm using 4064 behind them. I got them loaded up to try and keep them around 2,000 feet per second. We're going to be firing these out of my Ishapore 2A1, which is different from what I normally test my ammo in. I normally run them through my Oviedo Mauser in 7.62 NATO/308. And the reason why we're using the Ishapore here is because the Oviedo Mauser has a 1 in 14 twist barrel and will not stabilize super heavy bullets like these 200 grainers that we're going to be sending down range. This right here, this Ishapore, I think it has either a 1 in 12 or a 1 in 10 twist if memory serves me correctly, but either of those should be able to stabilize these 200 grain bullets. So I'm trying to find a decent 308 rifle that I have that will be able to stabilize these heavier weight bullets versus just running the lighter grain bullets that I've been using through my Oviedo Mauser rifles. So that's what we're out here testing today. I want to see what this is going to turn into. So these are gas checked rounds. They're going to move about 2,000 feet per second, which is kind of slow for even for 308, but it's still not something that I'd want to get hit by. So this Ishapore is a little on the sticky side. I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge that right now because I never used the gosh darn thing. I feel like it's still in its break-in period. So let's see if this stuff fires. Oh yeah, she definitely fires. And it definitely feels like we have a fair amount of power down there. Definitely not full power 308 levels of power, but it's definitely something that I feel I could rely on. We don't really have a target out there, so I'm just going to aim it at some super shot up paper out there. So we'll wander out there once I'm done with this, and I want to see if I have any keyholes, because I want to see if this rifle stabilizes these heavier 200 grain bullets. I know for a fact the 1 in 10 twist rifle will stabilize it, but I want to see if the 1 in 12 twist of the Ishapore will. I'm willing to bet that I could probably fire my black powder 308 ammo through this rifle and it would probably do okay, but with how stiff it is, I think smokeless powder is probably going to be the way to go. And the reason why I bring up my black powder loads is because I normally run black powder ammo, and I do that whether it's a smokeless rifle or a black powder rifle because I make my own black powder and I can run them super, super cheap. So there's 5 rounds of those. I heard it hit the wood at least. So I'm going to have these other guys send some lead down range for me.
All right.
Draw some straws. I'm going to load you up with 5 rounds. Aim at the black circle because I just kind of want to see if we have any keyholes on that target, and that will tell me whether or not this rifle's stabilizing that ammo. I'm fairly certain that the Ishapore will be able to stabilize 200 grain bullets though, because I half remember doing research on it a while back and deciding that it would be able to stabilize that. As a matter of fact, I think that it could stabilize probably up to 230 grains. All right, 5 rounds. Go ahead and send lead whenever you feel like, buddy.
All right.
She's kind of a stiff rifle, so you gotta not treat her gently.
Try my best.
Yep, treat her like she owes you money. She's a heavy one, too. But you know what? She might be stiff, but at least she's reliable.
I like the sights on it.
Yeah, I like those sights, too. She's all the way up. You just got to pull her back. There you go. Yeah, those Lee Enfield rifles have a short bolt throw. It's only about 45 degrees.
Huh.
That's actually a benefit of the rifle. You can cycle that thing super fast if you know how to do it. Nice. This right here was definitely ahead of its time. External magazines. If you had extra mags, you literally just pop them into your rifle and close the bolt and keep going.
Yeah.
Versus having to load them with a stripper clip through the top.
That's badass.
Fine, ready, buddy. Nice shooting, Tex. I like that.
I do too.
Personally, I like these 200 grain bullets.
This might be one of my favorites today.
Yeah, that's a solid one. I don't shoot this thing very often, but I tell you what, dude, running this the way that we are, this is pretty gosh darn nice. You can smell that bullet lube burning off.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I don't like about these rifles is the magazines can be a little finicky. This one works well enough, but even then they can be a little finicky. All right, Steve, it's your turn.
I'm ready here.
All right, she is chambered and ready to go, my friend.
Okay. Perhaps I don't know, maybe taking the magazine apart, stripping it, and see if there's something, maybe a little bit of polishing with a file or something.
Well,
on
it's the
inside,
actual feed lips themselves that are having issue. They've been bent and rebent.
Okay.
Yep, so I think I just got to get myself a new magazine for that particular rifle.
Right. Okay. That might be a chore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's possible. It can be found.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm willing to bet that, 2 or 3 of those magazines would buy me another rifle.
Did
She's
they
a
carry
sticky
any
one.
spare magazines over there at Royal Tiger?
Not for the Ishapore.
Okay.
The things that they have at Royal Tiger are way before 7.62 NATO was around.
This thing loaded up here.
Yes, sir. I think you got another 2 rounds.
I do.
Running that rifle like a champion over here. fantastic. What do you think there, Steve?
I think with a little bit of cleaning whatever is holding the bolt back and get that magazine cleaned up a little bit there, it's just quite a rifle.
It's got potential.
I think
I will say it's got potential.
I think it does. My problem, I was having a little trouble with the rear sight as far as seeing the opening.
Yeah, I agree.
There, but other than that, and the wood is very decent on it.
Yes, sir.
Very nice wood.
I like it. That there's one of my favorite rifles.
Yep.
The one thing I dislike about it is how stiff it is, but like you said, a little bit of TLC and she'll be up and running no problem.
Yeah. It's on the closing stroke, it seems like, where it's the stiffest.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, so whatever's going
And I'm
on
gonna wander out there to the targets. I want to see if
Okay.
I have any keyholing issues. I want to see if this rifle stabilizes those heavy bullets. Because if it'll stabilize those heavy bullets, then 10 shot capacity in a relatively fast bolt action rifle like
which,
that, that's a decent little gun.
I've got a couple of 220 round nose full metal jacket there in the box there.
Yeah, I saw those.
Yeah.
I saw those. That's going to be fun. Now, I don't think we'll be able to tell what bullets are what whenever I shot these here. As long as we're not seeing any keyholes, it's what I care about.
Yeah.
And I don't see any keyholes. That's good. That means we're probably stabilizing these heavier bullets.
Just fine.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's very awesome. Oh, I'm going to put up the steel here and see if I can smack this bad boy with one of these heavier rounds. Very cool. Let's go set that up. All right, we've got a tiny little steel target out there I'm going to try and smack. That'll give us an indication on just how powerful and potent this ammo is. 200 grains at 2,000 feet per second. That's a pretty gosh darn powerful potent round. But just for fun, we're going to smack the steel anyway, because I said so. Make sure our round is properly set. So y'all let me know if I hit high or low, alright? If you can see it. Because I got it zeroed for 400 yards. We'll see how close that zero is at this distance with this ammo. That sounded high.
Yeah.
Let's bring it down to 300 yards. Ha-ha. Try it again.
Goes high again.
High again? Oh, 300 yard zero, still shooting high. Alright, well, we'll bring it down to the actual battle site zero of 200 yards. There's a solid possibility that I'm not hitting high, I'm hitting left or right.
Yeah. That's what
Because
I'm
I
starting
can't
to
see
think.
it.
Yeah.
But I do know I'm aiming at the bottom of that target, and we're clearly still hearing the wood smack.
Yep.
So this right here definitely does not need a special zero then. I can't see that thing at all, dude.
Yeah.
It's so well camouflaged out there. At this point, I'm just shooting in the breeze. I just can't see it. We'd have to spray paint it or something. It is entirely possible that we are hitting high, so I'm going to try aiming under the target. Maybe we'll smack it.
Yeah, hit the ground.
Really? So we are hitting super high then, even with our battle zero. Okay. Interesting. Bullets do weird things. This is why you test your ammo. There's no way that's still hitting high.
I heard wood hit.
There's no way. There's no way, dude. Bruh, that's wild. Okay, so we're hitting like retarded high then. There we go. Wow, we are hitting stupid high with this.
Yeah.
Like 2 feet
You
high.
actually hit the dirt in front,
Ah, I got you.
and I could see it, and then it kind of skid around along
Well,
surface,
even then, this
you went
rifle
right
is
into
still
it.
hitting super, super high. All right. So we definitely do not need to increase our battle zero with the thing. That's for sure. Well, that's awesome, and that hit it hard. That was a hard hit. That was cool. I like that. I don't think the steel's there anymore, but I'm gonna fire again. Well, there we go. I would call this a resounding success because clearly this rifle is stabilizing these bullets, and that's what I was curious about. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.